there, Abiding fam, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for this video because not only are we doing another fun creative journaling session, but we are also reviewing some amazing new products that I received from Arteza. Arteza was kind enough to send me these products for review. They sent me 2 watercolor pads, each with 32 sheets of paper, and these paper pads are so thick. All of the paper is such good quality. I have loved using it thus far and have had no issues. They also sent me a 6-pack of their water brushes, and I am obsessed with these. So you get 3 flat brushes and 3 round head brushes in different sizes, and as you can see, they are synthetic, and I love these brushes more than any of the other water brushes that I've tried. These are the first ones I've ever used where I didn't have to really work to get the water to flow. It really just flows super naturally. If you're not familiar, these are the type of watercolor brushes that you fill with water to use, and then it has a little push to make the water flow through the valve, but like I said, you really don't even need to do that unless you need a steady stream of water, and I've just loved using these brushes, as you're gonna see. The next product they sent me are these watercolor pencils, and I just love the vivid colors in this 24 set. As you can see, they are woodless watercolor pencils, which means you are getting the maximum amount of color. There's not a wood casing surrounding the color of the lead on the inside, but rather you are getting the full thing as that color, which means you're getting a lot more bang for your buck. And I just love the way they look. They seriously look like candy to me. I think they're so pretty, and that is true of these real brush pens that they also sent to me. These are going to be similar to your Tombos. They are water-soluble brush pens. They have the colors of the pen on the tip, which I just think is such a cute little touch. I will say the one flaw in this to me is that these ones are not named or numbered, at least that I could see, and it would have been nice so that I could tell people what colors I'm using to have that. The brush is also different in that it is bristled. Has its pros and cons. It does act more like an actual paintbrush, but for me that personally makes it a little bit more hard for me to do lettering. Some people prefer that though, that's just my preference. So now that I have given a brief review of some of these products, let's see how they actually work in practice. So here I am cutting part of that watercolor paper down to size because I am actually creating a spread about a book that I recently read by Kristen Hanna. It is called The Great Alone, and it is a fabulous book that I highly recommend if you're interested. I love her work so much, and I thought it would be fun rather than print out a photo of the cover, which is typically what I would do, to instead do an illustration of the cover using these products. So you can see I am going in with the brush pens and then going over it with the water. Like I said, it is water-soluble ink in the real brush pens, which makes it easy to move around then with the water brush pens. So after I put down that first wash of color, I let it dry, and now I'm going back over it with these deeper colors, trying to bring in some shadowing with different colors layered on top of each other, and then once again blending them all together with the water brush. So what I really love about these Arteza real brush pens is that they are super saturated in their colors, so you really get the maximum color down on the page, and then you can really play around by adding certain amounts of water to fade those out. I will say that is one thing about the real brush pens is that you really do need to use them with water, at least in my experience. Unless you're hand lettering on super smooth paper, it really will skip a bit. At least that was my experience in trying to use just the pens. I really needed the water to blend it out and create a really solid, smooth color. Now I'm going in with a darker color to create the trees and just creating really easy lines straight up and then creating kind of expanding V's downward to create these trees. And what I do love about using these is that I can be very loose in my drawing. So you can see I'm just basically scribbling at this moment different colors down, but when I blend them together it will all come together, you will see. So right now it kind of looks like a child's drawing, but that's my favorite part about using brush pens like this or watercolor pencils is I can really be very loose in what I'm creating, and then when I add that water, the image just comes to life, and suddenly all of those scratchy lines that I had put down all make sense. So yeah, I just really am loving using these products. I was very nervous when they offered to send me these products that I wasn't going to like them. I was terrified that I was going to hate these products and then have to tell people that I didn't like them and would feel bad that they were given to me for free, but I need to keep it honest here, and I honestly do like these products. Like I said, other than the fact that I wouldn't generally use the Arteza brush pens by themselves, I would always use them with water. For example, the Tombow brush pens I obviously use by themselves all the time. I would not do that with the Arteza ones, but otherwise I have really enjoyed using these products, and for specific things like creating a drawing like this, they are my go-to. I picked these products to do this not just because I wanted to do this review, but because I really believed that they would be the best products to create the look I was going for. Okay, so now we're going to bring in a product that is not from Arteza. These are my Finetech watercolors, and the reason I decided to go in with these after first putting down a little bit of a base color using the Arteza watercolor pencils is that I really wanted to create that shimmer that I can only achieve using the Finetechs, because on the actual book jacket, the lines that create this road are embossed, so they have a very metallic sheen to them, and so I wanted to create that same effect. So with these, I do find that I often need to layer them and try not to use too much water so that I create a very saturated color, especially if I want that shimmer within the Finetechs to be really prominent. And this is the Finetech Pearlescent palette, so it is not the Finetech Gold palette, which you often hear about, but I love that there's a different variety of colors in this specific palette. And you can see I'm using the white gel pen a bit here too, and then going over it with the snowy white to create a really dark white color. So there you can see that shimmer. Oh, I love it so much. It looks so great and is exactly what I was going for. So now I'm trying something new. I'm going in with this deco foil, but first I'm using a glue pen and just writing out the title, because this too has a gold foil embossing on the actual cover of the book, so I wanted to create that same effect by using a gold foil technique, which you can do using a glue pen. So while I let the glue dry a little bit, because you don't want to apply the foil right away, I went in with the white gel pen to do the author's name, Kristen Hanna, at the top, and you can see for the last name I am doing each of the outer letters first and then working my way in. That's a great technique to make sure that you always get the spacing right with your letters. So now here is the magic moment of putting down the foil. So you just press it down. It's so easy, guys. I was using the end of the Arteza marker to help me press it down, and you just lift it up and there you go. A beautiful job of foiling. Super easy. You don't need any special machines to make that happen. And there is the final art piece. So now I'm going on to the journal page and creating a light wash using the watercolor pencils. Unfortunately, you can't tell super well here how amazing these pencils are, but they truly are fantastic because you don't get any streaking like a lot of times you do with watercolor pencils. You get the lines in the background. These blend out so effortlessly, and I love that. Now I'm going in with this new Cocora pen that I bought off of Amazon. This is another brush pen, which I know I don't need another brush pen, but this one is really neat because it's refillable, so I can put in different kinds of ink, and I also love it because it has such a fine nib that you can do really small brush lettering with it. So I do highly recommend this pen, plus it's just so cute and it wasn't too expensive. So now I'm going in once again with that pen, just creating some little tick marks, Ali Brown style, if you will, putting those at the top and the bottom. And then I felt like the page needed a little bit more, especially to make that center piece stand out. So I just did a little border, kind of half border, like it's hiding behind it, with the black pen, and then also with some gold washi tape to bring out those foiling elements. And so I really liked the way that turned out. And then I'm going in with the glue pen again, and then I'm going to let that dry while I go in with the watercolor pencil to create the 18 with my new favorite stencil, which will be linked down below along with everything else, including all of the Arteza supplies with promo codes, so make sure you check those out. And then I'm going back with that glue and adding on the foil because, like I said, you do want that glue to sit for a little bit and dry before putting on the foil. And then we're going to do our journaling, so going in with this new Signo pen that I have. I really love this one for journaling. And I felt like the page just needed a little something extra, so I went in with this stencil I had to create stars. So I'm just creating 5 stars to essentially make a rating system. I gave this book 4.5 stars, and here you can see I am using the Arteza Watercolor Pencil, and I'm just picking up the color off of the pencil and putting it on that way. It gives you a little bit more control, especially when you don't want a super diluted color. And that was the finishing touch, so there is the final page. I love the way it turned out, especially that book cover, the journaling card, I think just turned out so well. It really does look like the book jacket, but has a really special element in the fact that I created it and illustrated it all myself using these supplies. So I hope you enjoyed this review and that it helped you decide if you want to purchase any of these products for yourself. The products are super high quality and for great prices, and I do have promo codes down below, so be sure to check those out. And give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and be sure to subscribe. And thank you for watching, and thank you to my patrons for making this video possible. I love you all. Bye!